Hey guys, what's going on? Andrew coming at you, and I'm actually trying to look at my PC there for a second. So I'm changing some things up. As you can see, I'm in a different location. You're going to probably see a little bit of my bed behind me and my couch. I kind of live in a studio apartment, which I have done. I've done a couple of videos from this angle. It just makes more sense for me to kind of be in front of my PC. I might switch things up from where I am right now to over there. But if you think about it, tell me what you think about this kind of background. This is just an apartment. It's not one I own, so I guess the style and stuff like that could be a little bit better. If I was going to do it again, I totally would. But I thought I would go through and read some of your comments that I've had recently, see if there's anything to respond to. I'm kind of doing this on the fly because, well, I'm a little bit busy at this current point, but I want to go ahead and get some videos out. And I'm sure eventually I will kind of work at getting more lighting coming from the front here, but I think you can see me okay. And it might be possible that if I actually just stand back a little bit more, which I'm doing right now, I think it makes a better difference overall with the lighting quality. It's just kind of where the lighting's coming from instead of moving the lights. I'll try to adjust that here in the future. But I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go through the comments that I've had so far. Okay, cool. So speaking Swedish, this one's from Sophia. She says, "Hi Andrew, just stumbled upon your channel as I'm trying to research more about Sweden and its culture and the easiness of adapting. I am currently a junior in college in New Jersey, but have a dream of living in Sweden and want to study abroad at Stockholm University. I'm highly interested in the culture and want to move out of the States. I'm most nervous about not knowing the language. Through researching, many people seem to know English, especially at the university. Do most Swedish locals know or understand some English? For example, if I went touristing off campus, I subscribed to your channel and to see if you are learning the language fluently after living in Sweden for 5 years already. Were you able to get around by yourself these years on your own, or did you always need to learn on assistance? Very inspired by your move, and we'll check back because I love your video ideas." Awesome. I'm really glad that you like my videos, Sophia. And what I want to say is you don't need to stress so much. Most people speak English, and times that people don't, it's just that they don't maybe feel comfortable speaking English to me. That's what I've come to. You might run into some people that might be a bit shy that English is your first language and they're afraid of making mistakes. But I think in the Stockholm area, you're really not going to have any problem. And I'm talking about a grocery store speaking English or anything else. Don't stress so much. Just come. It's taken me 5 years to get a grasp of the language. I could have studied every day. Keep in mind, I was working at the time. I recommend Babbel.com, which I've used, and I don't get like a commission with Babbel.com. If you're going to come for a semester, I don't think it's realistic that you will learn Swedish in 6 months. I think it's a very hard language to learn, but you should at least maybe learn the basics of Swedish. For me, honestly, it took about 2 years, and I was working primarily speaking English, so that could be why. But it took me about 2 years to kind of get a grasp of the language as far as hearing things over and over again and starting to make connections and build connections. So it took me some time. So I might do that for you. I could be a minority. I don't know. So thank you, Sophia. Moving on here. Oh, this is on my video speaking Swedish. Bra. Martin says, "Bra, prova att prata svenska på jobbet också. Dina kollegor kommer att hjälpa dig." Yeah, I'll make an announcement here in the future about that, but I can't go into it right now. Yo-Yo Co says, "Förstår vad du säger. Mycket bra, tack." So this is again on speaking Swedish. This is on what Lucia means to me. Patrick says, "Great insight. I think your interpretation is fairly accurate, leaving out of its historical religious significance, or rather lack thereof. For more information, you should listen to the latest episode, Veckningsskadsradion History, which explains how and why Sweden celebrates Lucia as we do today. It also touches on disagreements among Swedes on what part of a tradition is what considered inappropriate by some, such as a male Lucia, Santa and gingerbread in the choir, and so on. Quite an interesting listen. Glad Lucia. Thank you, and I recommend that to everybody else out there. I'm not touching that one just yet." And Anna says, "Bra. Fast inte där orden på engelska. Bra idé att läsa barnboken. Jag vet några från Syrien som blivit mycket bättre på det sättet. Och skillnaden mellan arabisk och svenskan är större än mellan engelska och svenska. Jag tror att det blir jättebra." Said Pettersson. Charming humor. Yes, titta. So this is the first book that I got in Swedish, actually. I thought it would be fun to try to read through it on my channel and go through some stuff, but I'm not sure if I can technically. I think that it might be possible that I would get a copyright strike, I guess. But this is the book. pancakes are Stockton. So we're gonna make some pancakes. I'm gonna read about pancakes. I haven't started this book yet, but there's a lot of words in here, so it'll be interesting to see how well it goes for me. Yeah, that hit my funny one. Anyways, how much words is gonna be for me? So we'll see. I'm gonna just throw this one back here for now. But thank you for your comments here. I thought that was awesome. Looking through. So most people here that did say Mika Bra, great job so far. I think that most people who hear your pure American accent and barely react if you use some English words. This is again speaking Swedish. So I feel really good after getting the comments because I was really worried. I actually took a language test. And I might talk about this in another video, but I took a language test and saw that I actually tested out of like B1 Swedish into B2, and B2 is the level right before fluency. So the hard part for me is going to be speaking Swedish and saying all the words the correct way because, I find that when I'm learning how everything works, like I'm hearing the words, but I'm not always putting them together perfectly. Like when I did the translations and took the test and fluency test, it was a computer-based test for Folk University, and I'd go through it. I had time to like look through a sentence and say, okay, I don't understand every word, but what words do I know and how can I put them in the right place to make sense for me? So that's what I did basically, going through here. Let's see if I have any other comments. Okay, here's one comment I got that I thought was worth responding to. Swardelli says, there really is, this is on what I said, what Europeans could learn from Americans. He said, there really is nothing to learn here. To be a bit polemic, it seems SFM forgot to give Americans wisdom and serenity, as in SFM. Grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. There simply are things you cannot achieve. To pretend you can is, well, you get the point. This as far as the American attitude that anything is possible. And this is like, I'm just going to read the response that I gave and kind of go into it because I think it's worth talking about. And I basically said to this person, tell that to Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, and Mark Zuckerberg. Of course, not everything is possible, and I can't change what abilities I was given at birth. I mean, you can't change what abilities you have at birth. Some people are going to be good at sports naturally. Some people might be better equipped for math. For example, I'm not a highly skilled long-distance runner, but I can get good enough at long-distance running over time if I decide to work with it. Netflix, for example, is changing the way people interact with media. I think in societies, our strengths are our weaknesses. So in the United States, the fact that we're so good at innovating business means that sometimes we forget about our fellow or common man. So there's definitely things that aren't so good about what we do at the same time. There's no doubt there. But I think that like this American kind of approach to thinking all things is possible is a beneficial thing to have, is a beneficial thing to grow up with. And to be fair, it doesn't mean that you don't have that if you're in Sweden. I mean, look at PewDiePie. Look what PewDiePie was able to do. Basically being the first one to kind of see that video game commentary was going to be a huge thing here. So PewDiePie saw that, he took advantage of it, and it's been huge. So I definitely think it's a good thing. So these are the questions and comments I got. I'm super tired today, in case you can't tell. I hope this backdrop's okay. I missed you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.